It's been a few weeks since the Edge of Fate launch, and even though I like the story, the raid is cool, the power grind is definitely rough, and even though I wanted to wait to get my power a little bit higher before I started making builds, I need to start making them. So the first three I'm going to focus on is the new exotic, specifically with this video, the Eunoia exotic gauntlets for the Warlock. For Eunoia's perk, Console's Pitch, Hellion projectiles deal increased damage the further they travel, eventually fracturing into scorching shrapnel. As an example, we're here in the shooting range, I'm going to activate my class ability, and it will automatically attack those targets. Now, the further away it gets, as you can see, the projectiles start fracturing off. Here's everything I'm using under the Solar subclass. Here's what I'm using under Prismatic. There are two main stats to focus on. The first one being class, so we have the fastest class ability energy at 100. The second one is weapon, so you at least want 100 so you can get the 10% reload and handling percentage increase and then the 15% damage increase. But if you go over 100, this is the enhanced benefit. Ammo bricks from defeated targets have a chance to contain additional rounds and increases weapon damage against bosses and opposing guardians. The main thing here is that extra boss damage and extra ammo. For your weapon options, what's really cool is that you're not tied down to really anything. Benefits of the build. Number one, if you don't want to think, Hellion is obviously extremely easy to use. Use your class ability and it's going to automatically attack those targets. If you're on the Solar subclass and you have your Restoration ×2 and your Radiant, being able to have the Hellion just passively kill enemies or even just build up these Scorch stacks to cause ignition to, wipe out a whole area of enemies will allow you to keep up that survivability. Same thing on the Prismatic side of it. Whether you get an ability kill with the Hellion or not, being able to have the passive damage from it, being able to keep up Devour, getting your grenades back faster, essentially have really good ability spam is very nice. Number two, even though the passive damage you get from it isn't crazy, being able to have that extra DPS option without having to stop your line of fire from whatever weapon you're using is very nice. Obviously, things like Starfire Protocol are really good for spamming that fusion grenade and getting a lot of damage in, but if you need to be using a weapon constantly, something like Outbreak Perfected, for example, especially if you're doing the new raid, being able to have this passive Scorch and Ignition from your Hellion is really nice. And lastly, number three, it is a new player-friendly exotic in my opinion. Being able to just pop your class ability and have the Hellion just attack targets is extremely easy. Some builds require so much setup that half the time it's not even worth having to go through all the trouble to consume a grenade, do a Phoenix dive, spin around 6 times or whatever you have to do. Again, not all exotics are that complicated, but I'm just saying, again, like I mentioned, this isn't the best PvE Warlock exotic, but if you have a setup that you like using and something different that you used on your Eunoia setup, definitely let me know in the comments. There are multiple different ways to set up this build. This is just something that I came to here in the early game, so if I come up with a way better one for the end game, I will definitely be making another video.